Shabbat Shalom, and happy Memorial Day weekend. I recently saw the Broadway show Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. In it, Harry is chastised for looking for advice from a portrait of his beloved wizard extraordinaire, Professor Dumbledore. He is told that the great wizard's portrait cannot offer him any guidance. Rather, the portrait is simply paint and memory. His beloved professor has died, and Harry no longer has access. Dumbledore's portrait is fixed in time and unchanging. Yet, as Jewish people, we know that memories are dynamic and never stay perfectly still. As we remember our loved ones who are no longer with us, memory is anything but static. This is equally true of our history, our sacred texts, and how we understand the essence of Jewish memory. In Judaism, remembering is a holy act. We are in fact commanded in the Torah to zachor, remember. When we look at the different ways this word zachor is used in the Torah, we see that it is rich with meaning. Zachor, the Torah tells us, remember Shabbat and keep it holy. We are commanded to practice a weekly ritual, an entire day, devoted to articulating this covenantal relationship. But remembering, or in other words, practicing Shabbat, is also something that binds us together, not just across time, but across space and cultural difference. A Jew in Morocco celebrates Shabbat just as a Jew on the Upper West Side celebrates Shabbat. Just as Jews have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jews, said Ahad Ha'am. This instance of Zachor urges us to engage in Jewish ritual practice. Zachor, the Torah tells us, remember on the day on which you were freed from Egypt. This is the Zachor of remembering and identifying with the circumstances that led to our collective historical identity. Zachor, the Torah tells us, remember what Adonai did to Miriam after the Israelites left Egypt. In contrast to the Zachor of collective historical identity that we just spoke about, this command to remember focuses on a specific story in the Torah, suggesting that history is shaped by individual narratives. Each person has his or her own challenges to face, and this is the Zachor of remembering such personal narratives. Zachor, the Torah tells us, remember that Adonai assigned the Israelite people a haven in the land of Israel. We are commanded to remember the bright, unfolding, and constant promise of our homeland in which we can express our Jewish values. This is yet another angle to what the word Zachor can mean to us. In this case, Zachor serves as a physical anchor, connecting us to our homeland. And finally, Zachor, the Torah tells us, remember to blot out the name of Amalek. We are commanded to remember that there will always be evil. We need to recognize it and respond. This is the Zachor that compels us to be vigilant about recognizing and resisting evil. When we look at these 5 examples of Zachor, we see that the act of remembering is not static, and it's not passive. We are instead challenged to be active rememberers. The past and present are in dialogue with one another. Our memories of slavery in Egypt instill in us an obligation to act on behalf of those currently in bondage. Our memories of needing to blot out the name of Amalek, a representation of pure evil, remind us of our obligation to recognize evil in the world so we can combat it. Furthermore, our scripture tells us that we human beings are not the only ones who remember. God also remembers. We read, Vayizkor Elohim, God remembered Sarah, who was still childless in her old age, and brought her the child for whom she had been praying. Vayizkor Elohim, God remembered Noah and the animals stuck on the ark, and God caused a wind to blow across the earth, and the waters subsided. Vayizkor Elohim, God remembered the Israelites who were enslaved in Egypt, and God's remembering signified their freedom and redemption. In the Torah, when it says that God remembered, it means that God's focus narrows upon those in need, and God acts. This is theologically significant. God remembers us through action. And we see that this idea resonates throughout Jewish teachings. We try to imitate God and be active in our remembering too. We say, never again. But what we mean is, we will remember atrocities in order to actively combat evil. In Judaism, remembering is not a passive act. It is not passive when done by God, and it is not passive when done by human beings. And what Judaism has known for thousands of years about remembering here has been confirmed by modern science. Neurosciences teach that even the act of remembering changes the memory. Research has found that every time we conjure up our pasts, the molecular structure in our brains becomes malleable. Just as pieces of DNA fuse into different combinations to form new bodies, our memories are not static. When we say a loved one has died, we say, Zichronam livracha, may their memories be tied up in the bonds of life. This use of zachor is also dynamic. Our relationship is sustained through this active remembering. When we are lost and sick at heart, we will remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we will remember them. It says in the oft-recited poem by Sylvan Kamens and Rabbi Jack Reamer. We remember our loved ones as our lives move forward without them, and in so doing, we bring parts of them forward with us. This active kind of remembering that the word zachor implies is one that invites us to connect the past and the present with that this is yet to come. Just as inherited memories of the past influence our lives, our deeds today lay out the groundwork for tomorrow. Memories keep alive the story of us. New members of the next generation are remembering our stories. New actors are reenacting our stories. New visitors are revisiting our stories. Those who came before us and those who come after us are linked through this remembering. What we do is important and has impact. We have the opportunity to bring blessing forward as we are remembered into the future. Shabbat Shalom.